Speaking of unhappiness, Dillon Danis. Let's cover some of the stuff that's been going on there. Did you see the face-to-face?
I did not watch the full thing. No.
Did you get hit in the face with a beer?
And I also was confused because I saw so many clips coming out for like 3 weeks, and then I would like go and look to see when it was coming out.
It was me posting the clips.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why.
I seen the clip outs.
He's a good Twitter troll. He's excellent in debating how to like tackle this. And even if I do want to tackle
I
it,
don't think he's a good Twitter troll because he's never. You have a very large weak spot that he's exploiting, but when he tweets about anything other than Nita, it doesn't. No one cares.
yeah,
It
but
doesn't get good engagement.
didn't he get like famous for tweeting? Isn't
he's
that his
definitely.
thing?
Let's give him some.
But he was dead until you resurrected his career, and like he's like makes jokes, but it's largely in part that he's exploiting Nina. And there's so many hurt males out there who can't get girls, and they're the ones who are like, yeah, like fuck girls, fuck women. I'm gonna do. I love what Dillon's doing here, and they know that they won't ever get a hot girl. And our society and culture and young men are hurting and are so hurt, and they're addicted to porn, and they have no way to interact with girls, and they text them, and they're getting rejected, and then boom, boom, it's this never-ending cycle, and now they're finding a way out to unleash their hate through this super hateful, insecure male who is clearly a very hurt person.
That's where we keep landing is like Dillon's obviously damaged, and he may have some sort of mental illness that I empathize with, and he unfortunately, hurt people, and he's targeted an innocent bystanding female that has nothing to do with this fight, and people are latching onto it. But he's, at least at this point in time, tweeting 20, 30, 40, 50 times a day. I don't even know how this guy is training. And so we're going back and forth. We're like, well, do I even engage in this Twitter war? Also, do I give a fuck? Do I have to? Like, Dillon has done almost all the promoting for this fight, has 0% back end, and he's going to have to pay all the money he makes in this fight.
He's a puppet.
Back to my fiancé.
Well, he did get some clout out of it. At least. I'll present the other side of it, just because I'll always be called a yes man.
No matter what you say.
I'll always be called
no matter what you say.
No, here's one thing I can say to you right now.
Say it. Say it then.
No.
Yo, get out.
Yeah,
You're fired. You're fired from my life. I don't want anything to do with you. Get out. Nah. The theory was when I was putting out those clips, after the face-to-face, I sat down with the guy and I was so curious to see what he was going to be like in real life. He's really just a puddle, Jake. I'm not even just saying this to be a tough guy. He melted. He stumbles over his words. He can barely get out a sentence. He can barely form a rational thought. Everything he says is a lie. And so I landed on, why don't I just show him actually who he is? Like it's much different in person when you're not tweeting behind a keyboard all day, which is why I'm so excited for October 14th. I need this guy to show up. Like, what is going to happen when Dillon Danis is trapped in a fucking 20 by 20 foot ring with me on October 14th and he can't go to his phone and tweet because he got boxing gloves on? But I need him to show up, and I have a prediction. Because everyone's like, is he going to pull out of the fight? What's going to happen? Everyone's crossing their fingers he shows up. The face-to-face is doing numbers. Like, there's so much hype around this fight. And by the way, the card in itself is going crazy. They just added that Brazilian influencer / comedian Whindersson Nunes. October 14th is going to be nuts. Like, the numbers this card is going to do, we're all super optimistic for it. But in thinking of the ways that Dillon could, like, make excuses and lie and back out of this fight, I thought of one that actually could be a good thing for him. And I'm going to say this right now. What's the date?
13th.
September 13th. I predict that he's going to somehow intentionally give himself COVID to back out from the fight. Instead of like faking an injury or like actually getting injured, I think he's going to find someone with COVID and like lick their feet or something and use it to get a positive COVID test to back out of the fight. Granted,
on the week of.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But also, like, you could just like fake a COVID test, couldn't you?
No, because it would be confirmed by 10 fucking doctors. He'd have to actually get COVID. But he's not going to. At first, we thought he might intentionally injure himself, like break a finger or something. But that's insane. Like, you think this guy's going to put his hand on the table, like smash his finger with a hammer? I don't know. But the other part of this is like him pulling out in any way that isn't like verified by a doctor of our choosing. He'd have to pay $100,000 to us, which, you know, Mike said he can just pay using the Twitter revenue that he's generated.
I wish I never said that.
No, because
it's not very much revenue that they're making from this stuff.
No, he did over 2 billion impressions in the past.
Yeah, because
like
everyone
he's gonna
thinks
get
that
it's not a lot of
everyone thinks that little chart, the 3 rising bars on Twitter is views, and I hate when people call
it's
it
the
views.
dumbest.
It's
it's
views.
the dumbest thing ever when you look at the Tucker Carlson interviews.
Yeah, and you're
they're
like,
yo, he did 450 billion.
Yeah, and then everyone's like, oh, you got that many views? Like, no, that's how many people scrolled.
1 second.
That's how many people scrolled by it.
Yeah,
you don't know the views on Twitter.
right.
You don't.
But
everyone thinks that.
No, but his count is impression based. So he that.
Yeah, but impressions from what?
What do you mean?
Impressions from what?
Tweets,
he got 2 billion impressions
videos.
from pictures, tweets, videos of what?
Oh yeah, I'm not.
No, say it.
No, I'm not saying.
No, say it.
No. No. Of
what? What's the content?
I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. The way he got it done was activating an army of people that hate Logan Paul.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Take the girl, take Zoo, whatever the fuck you want to pull out of it and put under a magnifying glass. But at the end of the day, motherfuckers ain't fucking with Logan Paul right now, bro.
Yeah.
And it was a good time. It was a perfect time for him to come in and activate that army of people. And to Jake's point, even the people that kind of messed with you or didn't care, there was a bunch that hated women. There was a bunch that wanted to do this. There's a lot of nihilists who just want to watch it all burn. And they just want to get involved and be like, yo, let's start trouble. Let's fuck people up. But back to the crux, the beginning of all of it is the hurt people situation. And honestly, I've been feeling worse and worse for the fucking dude, bro. I mean that. I'm not gonna cry about it, but it is very apparent that he's sad, bro. And that sucks. It sucks also that you're gonna have to beat his ass.
If he thinks he's sad now, wait until October 15th. Because he's in a position where, and I said this to him, October what? You hold it?
Yeah, you should say 14th. You said 15th.
Yeah, the day after the fight.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, what about
I know what day the fight is. I'm saying the day after the fight when he wakes up and he's like, oh shit, I've lost it all. Because when he goes on Twitter, I said this in the face-to-face, he's getting validation that he hasn't gotten in a while. That's a good feeling, dude. Like if you haven't gotten that type of attention and validation, a bunch of people online telling you, you're the man, your tweets are funny, no matter how evil they are, that can make you do things that you normally wouldn't do. I've been there, but these actions have consequences, right? His actions have a series of consequences. There's legal consequences that we'll see how it plays out. I have a feeling I know how it's going to play out. And then there's Logan consequences. You got to show up. You have to get in a fucking ring with me and face me man to man after everything you've said. And we're going to see just how valid you are, just how intense, just how much of a non-Twitter warrior, real fighter that you think you are. But we got to get the guy to show up. Because when you have this type of feedback coming in that you haven't gotten, you're going to do things that you normally wouldn't do. And he crossed a lot of lines in the process. He shot himself in the foot again with this legal situation, and he's going to shoot himself again in the foot when I fucking kill him. This is the fight game. Shit gets intense. And I think we are clearly in a volatile space that no two fighters have ever been before. No one's ever been in this situation. It's a fucking shit show. And people want to see us rock each other. There's a lot of people that want to see me lose. There's a lot of people that want to see me shut him up. Everyone's watching for different reasons, but as long as you're watching, we're good.